It is the About Mansfield Economic Spotlight. I'm Steve Casillo, and what do we do here? We feature people. Yeah, from CEOs to general managers to family-owned, even companies of one, whose businesses have an economic impact on the city of Mansfield, nicely wrapped up into a package just for you. And not only one of those businesses is making an economic impact, but also the city of Mansfield is making its own economic impact. And by the way, we want to thank the people at the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation for sponsoring the Economic Spotlight. So with us to talk about what the city of Mansfield is doing to, I don't know if you've noticed, there's been some growth in the city. And so to talk about the economic impact and the growth, right over here to my right, your left, that would be our very own Councilman, Todd Tonore. Welcome to the Economic Spotlight.
So glad to be here, Steve. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you in the studio. And there are several major projects that are happening throughout the city. And I know that you've come here with three main goals in mind.
Correct.
I mean, gosh, talk about the growth.
Growth off the chart, right? I mean, Texas is number one state in the country to be in. DFW, the number one city and the number one state to be in. So stopping this growth is impossible. You know, this council and staff has been tasked with just trying to control the growth. And naturally, like every other city in town, Steve, or in the Metroplex, we're all behind on infrastructure, doing all we can do to catch up as fast as we can without shutting the whole city down with all the construction at one time.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing the number of construction projects that we currently have on the board. But
you've got some main goals in mind regarding development, and once you touch on those
absolutely.
goals.
You know, the council is very determined to diversify the tax base with a focus on generating sales tax and new industry mix such as Class A office space. We naturally don't have any Class A office space in Mansfield currently, which may shock a lot of folks. But
for the benefit of those who don't know what a Class A is.
It's corporate office settings.
Okay.
It's either small corporate, but primarily major corporate office settings. We don't have any, you don't see any 3, 4, 5-story corporate offices in our city like you see in every other city in the Metroplex. So
corporate headquarters.
Corporate headquarters. And we have a lot of, naturally, there's a lot of folks, corporations that want to be here. And Jason Moore, our economic development director, is out pitching. But it always comes down to, we'd love to come to Mansfield. Now, where are you going to put us? So
that's true.
So that's a problem. So anyway, that's something we're highly focused on, and a lot of the developments that we're working on is trying to get some Class A office space in our city. Also to continue to deliver world-class experiences based on citizen satisfaction survey, dining and family entertainment. Boy, for me, that's been real interesting. I've been out recruiting my competition. So that's,
restaurant owner right here.
Restaurant owner. But anyway, that's, and I say that jokingly because truthfully, we need more places in town, nice places to eat. We want Mansfield to become a destination dining and entertainment area where our tax dollars can stay here in town.
Mansfieldians love to eat.
They do. And what's interesting, too, from a restaurant owner standpoint, you can't eat at the same restaurant every night. So we need multiple restaurants in town. It's been fun out, helping Jason recruit restaurants into town. And then to become the hub for innovation in North Texas. And we've got, that's happening right here on Heritage Parkway.
The Innovation Center.
The Innovation Center, the project here that James is building here at Cellmark. So we really see that as a tremendous opportunity for growth. Corporations want to know, hey, if we come to Mansfield, is there a place to train what's your skilled labor force look like? And again, we've got Ben Barber, but we don't really have a skilled a place where our current citizens can go and get educated. So these innovation centers are really going to be a big part of the future of this city as we try to bring in more precise manufacturing facilities.
Let's talk about the entertainment district, because this is going to be one of the most exciting parts of the growth in Mansfield. Not only the stadium, but also the entertainment, the high five, and
absolutely. We learned a valuable lesson with BLD. We had the wrong operator. Mm-hmm. And if you have the wrong operator, I don't care if you're running a stadium or a business, that's not a good thing. And the facility itself went down. So, when we started talking about building a really high-end stadium where we could host professional sports and concerts and conventions and things of that nature, it was very important to go get the right operator. And one of the things that this Councilman, Jason, and staff were able to do is we retained Rev Sports Management, which is the Texas Rangers. That's Rangers Entertainment venue. They currently manage all the events that happen at Globe Life, Choctaw, and multiple other stadiums around the United States. So these are really, they also manage and own part of FC Dallas, which is a multi-purpose stadium. That's what this stadium will be. It'll be multi-purpose. Rev has told us that they feel like there'll be anywhere from 150 to 175 events a year in that stadium, everything from professional soccer to rugby to rodeo, conventions, you name it, proms, high school football.
I got to tell you, I don't know much about rugby. I don't know much about lacrosse.
Right.
I just like sports.
Yes.
I'm willing to learn.
Right.
You bring rugby to Mansfield. I'm willing to learn.
Right. Absolutely. Well, what's so exciting is having someone that is very successful in doing it.
Yeah.
When you can put the Texas Rangers logo in our city and have the Texas Rangers ownership behind what's going on in Mansfield, that is tremendous.
Right.
And when we went and spoke with them, it was like an automatic yes with the owners of the Rangers. They said, "Are you kidding us? You're going to give us an opportunity to be a part of a stadium that's 12 miles away from our other two?" Because they have stadiums in North Carolina and all over the United States. They said, absolutely, we want to be your partner. So it's been very good, and we've done this. Council and staff's done a tremendous amount of traveling, going around and looking at all the different stadiums that they manage and all the different venues and getting to know their folks real well. So we're very excited. What's even more exciting is they want this thing built and operational by summer of 26. So when the World Cup comes to Arlington, it will be operational. So you can see a lot of practice sessions done there at our stadium. So
when I think about Globe Life Field and Choctaw in that area where you've got Texas Live, you also have a hotel, you've got a brand new convention center. Are we also looking at some of those amenities?
Absolutely. There'll be this will be a headquarter for a major hotel, and we're talking, Rev is naturally tied into a lot of major hotels. You've seen the ones that are around their stadiums.
Sure.
So yes, we're in conversation with hotels, and naturally a convention center will be a part of that. That's something our city is missing. So we'll definitely have a convention center in that area, and there'll be a lot of mixed use, a lot of restaurants, some more Class A office space, and some residential. So what's really cool to me about this is the fact that it will generate a tremendous amount of sales tax and property tax for our city forever, but it'll do it in a manner where we'll draw people into this stadium and into this development, which ultimately, when built out, will be will have a value of around $2 billion. But they will not be in our community. They will be up and down 360. They will remain on the interstate just like you and I do when we go to a Cowboy game or a Ranger game. We're not all over Arlington. We're not in the neighborhoods of Arlington. So from a traffic standpoint, it sets itself up perfectly to be on 360. It will actually be just south of BLD.
Yeah.
On 360.
Big league dreams.
Big league dreams, yes, sir. Yes,
Let's move from 360 to downtown, because that seems to be a focal point for redevelopment.
Downtown naturally is the place in town that we all own, right? Downtown is the heartbeat of our community. this council's been very, very adamant about trying to get downtown up to speed. We have a very short window, I think, that we can do this. We really need to do it before all this other stuff builds out. You don't want all your citizens used to going a different direction. We want to continue to improve downtown. We've got multiple projects underway.
Let's talk about those.
Okay, we have the Smith Street project on 4 acres. Hope Global is the developer. It's a multifamily complex with some retail, open space. The land, they actually purchased the land from the city and expected to break ground December of 24. Like most developers, the cap rate, when it went from 4 to 8, slowed these projects down, but now they have new investors behind them, so it looks like that's going to happen. We have the Water District. That's a 4 acres at the southwest block of Main and Broad. It's basically going to be called the Dairy Block. It's going to be called the Water District, but it's directly across from Meehan's.
Now, is that the Water District because Main Street used to be called Water Street?
Exactly
Okay.
right. So that's going to be. It's going to have a variety of retail in it, restaurants, office space. There'll be some residential. You'll start seeing demo here fairly quickly on that. The city is pretty much, I think as of today, we signed the final contract on what was left on that property that the city did not own. So you will start seeing demolition happening here fairly quickly. I would think in the next 3 to 4 months. We've got one tenant there that is moving across town, so we got to give them time to get that building up to speed where they can move.
Yeah.
So, but once that happens, you'll start seeing buildings come down on that corner. And that is Main and Main. I mean, I know it's Main and Broad, but as far as downtown, that is Main and Main.
That is the heart of the city.
Heart of the city. So,
and with the heart of the city, we need people to live there.
Absolutely. I mean, businesses follow rooftops, right?
Yeah.
It's not the opposite. So, in order to get the correct businesses in there and the restaurants we need down there, we have to put some people down there. And this is going to be a great way to do it. It's not going to be a 4 or 5 story multifamily complex. It will have some multifamily in it, but it'll be limited. Primarily, this is going to be an open space that'll have different booth type settings where you'll have different restaurants. You may even have a little small clothing store in there.
Okay.
It's really unique. Ultimately, we would love to see some form of small, maybe a small hotel in there. Like a boutique hotel.
Sure.
So the developers are the same developers that developed the Dairy Block in Denver. If you want to go take a look at that online, you'll get a real good vision of what this is going to look like down there. But again, we're talking about a $90 to $100 million project when complete on that corner. We bought the property down the street. As you know, at Walnut Creek in Broad, where we'll be moving the fire station, that has been we've really been needing to do that for a long time, because when you have events downtown, the city's spending a tremendous amount of money moving that equipment out of downtown in case there is a fire during one of those events.
Right.
So getting that fire station out of downtown will allow us to have more events downtown.
Let's talk about the super studios. This is also going to be something big coming to Mansfield.
Yeah, 77-acre parcel, Klein Tool Boulevard and 7th Avenue. We're working on development structure and site plans currently to maximize the efficiency. We estimate a couple of years of construction on the studios, primarily, Steve, because we don't have any infrastructure in yet. I mean, we still got to put the infrastructure in, and all that's got to be installed first before they can come in and build the studios. But we're in constant conversation with these folks, and it still looks like that project's going to happen.
What else is coming up? You got the Heritage Office Park.
Heritage Office Park, yeah. This is at the corner of 287 and in Heritage. You guys are going to see they're starting to move dirt. I think I noticed that last week. You're going to see a Courtyard by Marriott there, and also a Class A office building. That will be the first Class A office building you will see in our city, right on 287 in Heritage on the west side of the interstate. Naturally, Courtyard by Marriott will be our highest brand hotel in town. And, we've talked to Marriott. Marriott, you'll definitely see a Marriott here at some point, probably out by the stadium, by the new stadium.
Mm-hmm.
But there's they go through they start at their lower end product and then they start building it up. Once this Courtyard gets in, then you'll see the next Marriott. They're not just going to come in and build the Marriott. So this is really huge that we're crossing this barrier.
Nice. The innovation community. Okay.
Yeah,
Coming to Heritage Parkway.
Heritage Parkway, northwest corner of Heritage and Regency, 17-acre parcel with 5-story Class A office space is Phase 1. Construction will commence by the end of 24, and the first tenant being open by the end of 26. It's a major project. It's going to take a little bit, but it's definitely the design has been complete. And you'll start seeing construction here by the end of this year.
As most of our listeners know, because I start the beginning of every podcast broadcasting from the Cellmark studios, we are in the Cellmark building, and they are planning their own innovation park, and that's something that's pretty exciting as well.
It is exciting. I'm so pleased for James Sellers. I mean, he's played such a key role in all of the other innovation center that we're bringing to the community, but having one right here at Cellmark Innovation Park, it'll be a new facility east of Cellmark's existing building and will include 150,000 square feet of manufacturing, retail, office, and a firearm training space that will be basically open to the public. He'll also have a retail store here that will be open to the public, which will allow our citizens to come purchase the products that he actually sells. So that's tremendous. Cellmark's an unbelievable community partner.
And they're a good landlord.
They are. James is good. Yeah.
The canals at the reserve. This
is going to blow people's mind.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you that this is something we've been working on for a long time. It's taken a long time to get to this point. We will be building our new city hall, will be the anchor of the canals at the reserve. I highly recommend that everyone watch our next council member or meeting next Monday. You will actually see for the first time a video of what this is proposed to look like. It's going to be really exciting. There will be canals. We basically have been working with the same designers that designed the Brickyard in Oklahoma City. So you'll see canals, you'll see boats in the canals, you'll see fountains, but just the sheer growth in civic space that will be around this project, inside this project, will generate tremendous tax revenue for the city. And you're going to see restaurants, you're going to see office, you're going to see residential. But what's igniting this project is City Hall. Sometimes it takes a municipal building like a City Hall to ignite a project. We've had a lot of people come to us just since I've been on council in the last 4 years, have come and said, hey, we really want to be in the reserve, but we don't want to be first.
Yeah.
But so now that the City Hall is building there, I think, and we'll put in all the infrastructure, we'll build the canals, we'll build City Hall, and then just stand back. I think the market will dictate, and the city will be very happy, or the citizens will be very happy with what they see go there.
Estimated on construction, when's that going to start?
I think you'll see construction begin in early 25 is the current estimation of when it'll begin. And this project, it build out, Steve, honestly, will probably take 5 to 6, 7 years. I mean, this is a big project on 300 acres of land. So the reserve is a lot bigger than a lot of people realize.
Sure.
It basically starts behind Methodist Hospital and goes cross Heritage, all the way over, almost touching 287.
Down to the railroad tracks. And
right.
So to recap then, the entertainment center with the stadium, the entertainment district with the High Five, the redevelopment of downtown, including the studios, the the innovative corridor, in a sense, with the new city hall, the canals, the innovative Class A buildings. Lots going on around town.
Yeah, you left out Wisteria. I mean,
Oh.
we've got the new art cultural district coming as well. Behind, it's off of Wisteria current. You know, that's in the works
Yeah.
too. So, yeah, and that's and what we mentioned is doesn't mention anything about a lot of businesses coming to town that aren't coming through the city. There's already zoning in place. So, I think I get calls all the time. Hey, what's going over there? Well, you know, if there's zoning in place, they didn't come to us, right? So there's a tremendous amount of stuff, restaurants and other types of retail-type businesses that are coming on a daily basis that the city, that the council and the staff have no involvement.
Yeah.
So ultimately, growth pays for growth. Growth is driving growth here, is what's going on in the city right now.
And the growth is exciting.
It's really, really exciting. I mean, I've seen some numbers that have been astonishing. I mean, I've seen that, you know, DFW is going to pass Chicago to become the third largest metropolitan area in the country this year, and in the next 5 years it will pass New York and LA to become number one. Folks are moving out of those cities into Texas, so that just tells you, I mean, we're 13 million people, I believe, now in DFW, which is when I moved here, Steve, there was 3 million.
Oh, wow.
That tells you. And that wasn't that long ago, 1989. So,
well, congratulations to you and the other 6 city council people. Congratulations to. In fact, about an hour ago, I ran into Joe at a local eatery and said hello and mentioned your name. Congratulations on really doing some fine things here in the city.
No, thank you. We appreciate you guys. Appreciate your support, Steve, and appreciate giving us an opportunity to get the facts out, because there is a lot of misinformation out there, as you know, and I read things all the time. I'm like, God, I don't know where they came up with that. But anyway, the frustrating thing is you can tell, a lot of these things we're working on are big, major things, and they just take a lot of time. It's not like you can just go out there and start throwing buildings up. So it's tremendous infrastructure and trying to get everything in place to get things built.
Well, it's like, even something as simple as a restaurant. It takes time. You remember how long people were going, when's Mellow Mushroom going to open?
Exactly.
When is Mellow Mushroom going to open? And it took over a year.
Right.
But it opened.
It opened. And as you know, time flies. That's right. But, hey, you know, it'll be here before you know it. I can promise you that. So, and again, I don't see anything. I think DFW, the economy is not great across the United States, but I don't think we in DFW has been hit nearly as bad as a lot of cities. Yeah. And if you see a little dip in these interest rates, hold on, because you're going to see all kind of things start moving.
Nice.
So,
Todd, I appreciate it again. Thanks for being on the Economic Spotlight.
Hey, thanks a lot, Steve. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, man.